Check one. Check. Hey, welcome back to the channel. Got a little something on the bench. Just doing some repairs here. Thought I would do a little live stream. Answer any questions while I'm here. Working on getting this dude back in order. Kind of beat it up real good at the museum, at the Whoop House. Let me see here. Make sure our chat's working. All right. Yeah, so just basically thought I would do a little live stream action while I was working on this quad. It's been quite a week for this dude. Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, tore it up pretty good. So just going to do a frame replacement and get it ready for tomorrow's race. This is my 75 millimeter. I'd say this is kind of just a little beat up. The battery tray's all tore up. Frame snapped. LEDs are coming off. So quite a bit of stuff to do to it. All right. See if I can get my camera in focus here. Audio coming in good? Anybody? Custom FPV, how's it going? Did you get rested up after all that excitement? Audio's good, thanks, man. Yeah, they got home from the museum race. I was trying to carry a bunch of gear down my basement steps, man, and fell down my basement steps. I've been kind of laid up in my chair for a few days. And just yeah, sleep for a week. Man, I tell you what an event. Looked like everybody had a pretty good time. You gonna be there tomorrow's race? I'd figure I'd come on here and fix this thing, man. I beat it up pretty good at the Whoop House. And I figure out what all I need to do to get it fixed for tomorrow. They had I think the museum had a pretty good turnout. It did seem like it was a little bit slower than years past. I think we had... Did you get any numbers from it? I think it was 6,400 over the weekend last year. I don't know if you can see that. I should put like an X right here on my board so I can tell whether or not I'm on the point or not. I got so much tape on these LEDs. Yeah, it was definitely less full. There were times where it didn't seem like there was that many people there. I was wondering if I think it was Channel 2 News, Dayton News. Usually they spread the word a couple weeks in advance. I didn't see them there this year. Yeah, over 10,000, 23. Yeah, 23 was pretty packed house. I think last year was 64. I need to find a better way to attach these LEDs, or I'm going to end up going back to my 1206 LEDs. Because these LEDs seem to not want to stick to the frame very well. Got some medical tape on it to kind of help keep it on there, but I was bashing it pretty good. Oh, you did have an interview with him? See, I was wondering. I didn't see anything. I was looking for it too. I didn't see anything. They must not have got around to putting it up. I got these LEDs hot glued on here because the original glue is garbage. Probably going to have to heat this up a little bit to get them off. I think for now I'll just cut them off. Yeah, Ken, he does such a good job. He posts a lot of good stuff. I put out my video yesterday, just kind of like, you know, a little something, kind of showing how I experienced it anyway. I had a bunch of stuff filmed, but you know how it is. You know, you don't want to put out like a 5-hour video. Which hasn't really stopped me in the past. There's one. I'm going to heat that one up. He ain't wanting to come off in there. I had to get my hot air station up and running here. I like this hot air station. Yeah, the hot glue wants to stick sometimes really good, and then most of the time it don't want to stick at all. I tell you what, that Whoop House was so much funner than the previous year. I think we all agreed it was much more fun than the one we've had all these years. it served a good purpose. But the new one, we were able to have a nice track, but the only thing is that it was concrete floors. So every crash was, devastating. I snapped off the motor post on these two. And then snapped the frame in two places, ripped out the battery, the battery trays ripped out. I don't know. I just figured I'd come on here and fix this up for tomorrow's race. And if anybody wanted to pop in, say hi, or, having troubles, can't figure something out, maybe I could help them get going. I kind of laxed on Facebook. I haven't been really posting a whole lot on Facebook lately. I don't know what's going on with Facebook. I get on there and there's like 5,000 ads and a bunch of garbage I have to sift through just to get to one cool post or one cool flight video or whatever. I don't know if you can see this. It's just a small little, it's about a 3/4 millimeter spacer. I found that if I put a spacer in between the canopy and the board, it gives you just that little bit of more space so you don't rip your MIPI cable every time. But it still happens if I crash hard. Like a full send to the floor kind of thing. East Coast Thrills, how's it going? Well, Custom, you better get on fixing stuff if you're going to race tomorrow. Yeah, East Coast Thrills, I just seen your video. Try not to. Need to kind of sit further forward. Yeah, I haven't been down here working on anything since I got back from the museum, because when I fell, I don't know, it was tragic. It happened so fast. I only fell down like 3 steps, but 3 steps is still 11 foot or whatever. I mean, I'm 6'3", so by the time I got to the bottom, it wasn't good. I twisted my foot back and blew my knee a little bit. I've been laying in my chair. Didn't fix my quad, just sent it. Flying a quad that was on Betaflight default rates for some reason. That sucks. Yeah, default rates. You didn't think to dump file it before you went to it, huh? You kind of had other things on your mind? Maybe just a little? East Coast Thrills question. I won that frame. I still have not had time to send it to my builder. How much should it cost to build one of those? So how much should it cost to build one of this is a UDL. This has HD0 Whoop Light bundle on it, which makes it a bit more time consuming. I know for me, I only do stuff for friends, so I've never really charged anybody to build one, but you can see the process here just to take it apart and put it back. I tried to make everything modular, so when I had to do a frame swap, it wouldn't take so long, but it definitely take a little bit of time to build one. Um, I don't know. That's a good question, East Coast. I hate to say $150 and then have people say that I'm crazy, but I mean, really doing a good job building on something. It depends, though. It depends on the component. Because like this, with the Whoop Light bundle on this, it is a bit more time consuming. Not a whole lot more than an analog VTX camera and stuff, but yeah, to each is to their own. I don't know. I I never got into building for people because I've been so aggravated with quality control of parts. I mean, I'd have to buy 3 flight controllers to get one good one that really lasted me. Um, this flight controller here, this is the Super B, um, and this is the one that I reflowed the processor and the voltage regulator back on. So got it up and running. But there it is, the whole entire guts. So I tried to wire everything to where I could just, modular, put it on a new frame. And the frame I use is the Mobula 7 V4. I like this frame the most. It had the least rubber band effect, I guess you could say. When you hit something, it doesn't bounce 10 feet off the wall, and it's pretty durable. There is 2 things I don't like about it, and that's this battery tray. You see this little strut that goes across here? There's 2 of them. There's one there. There's one here on the other side. They break really easy. And then sometimes the batteries don't fit in there very well, so you have to put a rubber band on it to get them to stay in there. Thank you for all the view. Cheers. Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, you got a good channel. Oh, custom, that sucks. You thought you had your dump file in. Yeah, the bad part about that is you don't really know until you get flying, and then you're like, uh-oh, this ain't right. And it's too late. I did that. I've done, silly stuff before, like go to a UDL race with a 13% throttle cut. I told myself, when I get the money someday, I'm going to buy another Radio Master Zorro, and it's only going to be used for the channel. So when I'm doing tutorials or I'm helping somebody on Facebook Messenger or whatever, I'm not messing with my race radio. 'Cause that's exactly what I did. I was on there messing around with it, showing somebody how to do a throttle cut. And then went racing the next day. Yeah, you're doing analog on that build. Yeah, if you got somebody building, I don't know, it takes me a couple hours. I'm kind of particular. I like to run things, like I put everything together, kind of dry fit it, and then get everything ran. If you're just doing the hardware, maybe an hour and a half or something, but I always like to do a little extra tuning. See if I can get these in here without ripping the wires off. Got the back. I need to put an X on here so I ain't drifting off the edge. I like to work in my lap. Yeah, I think it's tough to say, because see, that's the thing. You charge $150 or you charge $100 to put together a quad for somebody, and then the binding flies, then you can buy a binding fly cheaper. But there's always somewhere they save money on a binding fly. The one thing was interesting. There was a handful of people running binding flies at this museum race. I was quite curious to wonder if the HD0 binding fly was able to make it through the whole race without the battery dying. Because at our local races, it seems like the battery don't last that long. I was wondering if they were going to last. That HD0 at the museum looked pretty good. I didn't know that they were going to have HD0 at the museum until it was too late. Yeah, I was doing the check tech, the pilot check-in and wanding all the quads, and I would, so like here's your antenna on the quad, like that, and then you take the wand and you go around, and that meter shouldn't fluctuate too much because the frequency, the radio frequency coming off should be pretty good all the way around. And I noticed like the OVXs and the built-in analog, as you circled around, you would see it just fluctuate on the spectrometer that's in the RF meter. But the HD0 all-in-one board and TBS Nano VTXs, they were solid all the way around. Because every time I checked one, I asked what VTX they were using. So I was actually looking today on the website to see maybe about getting a Nano. TBS Nano, I think is what it's called. All right, kind of a pain to get this last little bit done. I don't know if I want to run my LEDs under or over. I think I'll just leave them over. Last time I had them under, but it doesn't matter because they come unglued. There he is. MFR FPV. What's up, Matt? Oh, you got FR Sky and analog? I did get a pair of V1 and Vista unit to transfer to digital. Yeah. I tell you what, I think I was one of the last to go from FR Sky. It really upset me when they came out with that V2 firmware. The writing was on the wall what they were planning on doing. And they were cutting the legacy. That's the one thing, because everything I had was FR Sky, and I was like, I can't afford to switch everything out, to buy all new FR Sky stuff so it'd all be compatible. And then I got really lucky. I went to IO, and I actually I think I won Burnt Motors. I think it was the Burnt Motors race. I got this little dude right here. It's it's heavy too. It's like a steel weight multi-GP. And I won $100 gift card to 533, and I bought the whole $100 plus some. I bought all new ELRS receivers. Now here's the thing. When this dude was uh, FR Sky, and I put an ELRS in this, I didn't think that there was going to be that much of a difference. When you go from 118, 112 packet rate to 500 on something like that, that's just a screaming banshee. It does make quite a bit of difference. I mean, you can feel it. And then our race director, Matterday, he went from Spectrum to ELRS, and he really felt a big difference because Spectrum, I think max is 98. So he definitely felt that. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good stuff. I'm glad they came when they did. It was kind of right. It was actually perfect timing. Radio Master and ELRS really did have perfect timing when they come about. So now we're gonna get into this is the pain. The pain of this project here is that Super B flight controller. It has a little cutout, but it doesn't have the circle. So every time you go to put your gummies in, they pop out, and it's so aggravating. You got to kind of get them in there and then squish them all down at the same time. So bear with me while I do this part. It's kind of aggravating. Did you... Matt, did you get a video out yet? Did you do a video of the museum? I know all the time you do like a cinematic flight of the museum. Get in here and get this before it pops out again. This poor quad. You should have seen how abusive I was this at the Whoop House. It was terrible. You'd have thought I had 10 or 15 of these things laying around. As mean as I as mean as I was to it. The concrete floor in that place was unforgiving. I'm going to use this box so that the motor sits still. That way I can push it on there all at once. This is my custom made box for the V4. It has pedestals in there so that it trues the frame back it up while it's in storage. I just put this little foam pad on here and it pushes down on the canopy a little bit and it squares the frame back up because the battery tray exceeds the motor posts. So if you just store it regular, it warps it. Like, in an old Emax Tiny Hawk box. It'll warp it. It's my least favorite part about doing anything with this thing. But you got to use the tall gummies with the HD0 loop light bundle to get that board off of the other board. You don't want them touching. Yeah, you say drying. Do you use E6000 or something, or some shoe glue or something? I've been using hot glue, and then I just tape the ends with medical tape. I do have some gaff tape. I thought about using it. All right, we got one done. Yeah, once that back that frame post breaks, then that board vibrates too much in there. It just becomes a mess to fly. Maybe next year the museum will allow UDL size quads, huh? Wink, wink. Any way to? I don't know. They got a certain gram limit. 30 gram dry is a lot. Hypnos, what's up, man? How you doing? Yeah, E6000 sticks to the frame real good. I have some actually. Yeah, I do. I don't think it's dried out. Might try it. Jeff, how you doing, Jeff? E6000 is yours too. Only drawback is the time it takes to dry. Well, I got a race tomorrow. You think it'll be dry by tomorrow? Just look at this real quick and make sure I ain't pinching any wires. Yeah, I know the original glue that comes on the LEDs is garbage. That went away real quick. Just got done grinding on the We Bleed track. Yeah, you've been at it for a while. I didn't realize the We Bleed, the online. What's the official name of it? We Bleed. It's like a couple months of grinding every day. I think the tendons in my thumbs would be sore. We Bleed Esports Season 4. Okay, yeah. We Bleed Esports Season 4. I was going to get in on that, but I had so much other stuff come up. And I don't know. I'm not a real big sim person. It's kind of strange because when I sim, I'm in 3D. I don't know why, but that I sim in 3D, and I don't know. I kind of just practice a trick or something. Like, for an example, split S. I don't know why, but the split S just plagued me. I would always go into it wrong, and then, I would try to recover too hard, and it would ultimately crash trying. So I got on the sim, and I just sat there and practiced over and over for hours and days. Finally went out to the field and accomplished a really, really nice clean split S, but put it in the dirt a few times. I tried to do the Velocidrone thing with the group, but I was so slow that I would be in the end of my second lap, and they would start the next round because nobody wanted to wait on me because I was too slow. So it ain't really that fun when you're trying to race, and then you're getting toward the end of your heat or something. You can't even finish. So I never went back. I think they need to come up with a Whoop video game that's like Mario Kart. I want a Whoop video game that I can shoot out little turtles or whatever, or little blasts or some, squirt out a slick. That's the video game I want. If you're a developer and you're watching this live stream at any point in time, that's what I would like to have. I want a Mario Kart style Whoop video game. I'll play that. I know everybody in here is pretty loyal to my channel, so you guys have seen it before, but I'll say it again. When you're putting these motor screws in, run them counterclockwise until you hear them click. Because then you're exactly on the threads. As being it's always harder to do this filming it. Because if you're not filming, then it goes smooth. But if you're filming, inevitably, if anyone's watching you, see what I mean? You just turn that counterclockwise until you hear that little click, and then you're on the thread. That way you don't strip out that base. Sometimes you get it from the company stripped. I've had a couple of them. What race are you going to? UDL race. I have one built. Just never attended a race yet. So this race is an open class race with Buckeye FPV Racing. That's our local multi-GP chapter. The race is in Groveport, Ohio. And it's an open class one, so it's a 1S open class. So that means you can fly 75, you can fly UDL like this, you can fly 65 millimeter. So, fly what you bring, basically. And so if you go on multi-GP, look up Buckeye FPV. And the sign up will be on there. How far are you from Groveport, Ohio? Hypno says Velocidrone has a combat mode. Yeah. You have like a little shooting darts or something. I just liked Mario Kart back in the day. Yeah, this year's museum race, there were some seriously fast people there. I was really, really surprised, to be honest with you. I think Matter Day was 11th. At the end of Friday, he was 11th, and he went to 37th. I mean, that's wild. And Ryan Cube, he was fourth place and went down to 18th. I told him he would drop way down. I figured he'd move quite a bit down the ladder. I'm not sure that he would move down that much. But Saturday's pilots were fast. That's like that every year, though. But I thought this year, in my opinion, it was a much bigger drop. So I think last year I was in seventh, sixth or seventh after Friday a.m. And then Friday p.m. I think I went to 10th, 11th, maybe even 12th. And then after the a.m. Saturday, I was still in pro. And then Saturday afternoon, I went all the way down to like 27th or something. You always know Saturday afternoon's going to be some serious competition coming along. Just making sure my chat's still following along. Um, I don't know if MFR and MFR and Hypnos are Patreon and member of the channel. So in my description of my videos, their link is in there. So go check out their channel and sub. Um, they're gonna be like right towards the top, the Patreon and members of the channel. Man, I'm off screen again. You guys gotta holler at me like, hey man, put that back. I need to. You know what I might do? I might get my router and put me an X right here. Insert some nice some nice mahogany, or maybe go up to the store and get me a nice chunk of dark wood. I love wood. I had somebody one time, I don't know if they were trolling me or if they were just being serious. They were complaining that my channel doesn't have any production value. I mean, you looking at me right now, I'm all washed out because I forgot to turn this stupid light on. That's supposed to help, I guess. It's supposed to warm me up. I don't know. I don't really care. I get the information across that I want to get across, and then that makes me happy. Um, the way I'm doing this is extreme shoestring budget, should we say? Finally saved up. Got me a little camera so you can even see me, because it's not easy running two cameras. I've had to do some silly stuff to get it to work. Man, I sure hope this dude flies. I sure did beat on it good, though. I do like these cob lights. They're super bright and they're fun looking. Um, Not that I really get to see it all that much while I'm in the goggle, but they're a lot more of a pain than the 1206 LEDs. Because the 1206 LEDs, you can tuck them away a lot easier. I put them in on the frame, and that way they don't get tore off and beat up. I'm gonna grab a battery real quick and plug this dude in. Make sure everything comes up the way it's supposed to. Let me grab a battery real quick. Never, never ever plug in a quad without checking continuity first. Well, unless you like seeing magic smoke. Looks good to me. All right, they still work. Uh-oh, look at that. If you can see that, I done beat that LED so bad. Looks like we got a bad LED. Need to get my monitor real quick so I can see if I got video. Let me check chat real quick here. The skills at the USFA race were so fast and perfect. It felt like the pilots had Jet A skills. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty amazing that, I don't know, watching like the top four, they just, that muscle memory, I always have to look and see where the gate is and line up on it. I don't have the ability to come out of a gate knowing like where I need to go. I can't remember where the gates are half the time. Sometimes I actually have to like pause and look. I will say, well, I'll give one criticism, Custom. When you and TJ design the next track, can you make the sections so you can have like a red section, a green section, and that way when you crash, you know where you crashed? Because if all the gates are the same color, me personally, I wouldn't be able to figure out where to go. I'd have to redo the whole course just to make sure I got it in. Yeah, you live for the thrill, Magic Smoke. Man, I tell you what. I don't know. I never really had a big problem with that. Knock on wood. Just because I have a background in it, I always have my meter handy. Hypno says the drop was like same as last year for me. Yeah, it is. It seemed, I don't know. It might just seem that way because it's been a year. Like you kind of have the thought of it, but it did seem like the drop was quite a bit. Yeah, you guys like the rainbow pat. I can't blame you. It's pretty cool looking, especially with the HD0 Whoop Light bundle. That dude, I really like that. Let me grab my monitor real quick. I'll be right back. Yeah, it's a little hard for me to walk. And when I kind of roll around, I got my crutch over there and everything. Man, what a deal. I don't know what I was thinking. I got home from the museum. I had my bedroll. I had my clothes pack. I had all this gear, my cooler, my dirty laundry. And for whatever reason, I decided I'm going to go down the basement steps carrying all of it in one trip. Yeah, what a trip it was. Woke up this morning and the bruising is, how you get like decent bruising and swelling, and then it starts to turn like a dark purple and then kind of turns green. That's kind of where I'm at right now. Make sure I got this off. I just want to check my video real quick and make sure that I didn't destroy my video. I was pretty mean to it. Trying to remember what channel I'm on. All right, good. Got good solid video. All right, cool. I'm happy with that. I'll get these LEDs put back on. Hypno says, I know I'm better than how I performed at the US. That's the thing. You got the skill. But man, I tell you what, that the lights, the stage, you know, the audience and then all your fellow, you know, pilots watching you on the big screen. That's it's a big difference between flying with your buddies or by yourself. You know, that museum will get your heart pumping. I know for me the first time I did it, uh my blood pressure had gone up so much. My face was red. I was hot as could be. I had to go outside. I've had top 32 this year, but I think I could have been a lot closer if I didn't suck. Now, man, you can. I'm telling you, the people that perform really well at the museum, they've got some races under their belt. It's rare to see somebody come in to that museum race with a little or no race experience. You know, actually competing on a little bit bigger of a stage. It does. It's you get them nerves going. It'll mess with you. All right, so I'm super happy that the video works good. Everything works good. That one LED's got like a break in it somewhere. I might replace it eventually, but for tomorrow's race, I think this one's gonna be ready to go. Just need to glue them on. I need to get some of those little clips. Little clips. I know Custom, you said you put some tape on it while it's drying. I don't know. I might just hot glue them back on there. I put E6000 on stuff before, and I don't know. I just turn into a goopy mess, you know. Small zip ties. Yeah, I got my trusty bag here. I think this is my second bag, but these are, you get 1,000 of them. But I've only been able to find them on Banggood. But these are the small ones. I use these to tether I put a strain relief on my lipo lead. Ain't nothing worse than ripping your lipo, crashing, and your lipo rips the pads off your board, you know what I mean? Anybody going to Weebleed next weekend? Not Yeah, next weekend. Anybody going to Weebleed next weekend? Out in Syracuse, New York? Actually, I think it's not Syracuse, is it? It's just outside of Syracuse. Cowboy with a camera. You 3D printed some of those clips. I think I seen them clips used somewhere. Somebody posted a picture. I commented on it, and they had all these clips because they actually ran the LED all the way around. I didn't do that because I wanted different colors. Yeah, there's those little 3D printed clips. Should be smart about this and get a battery and make sure this wire is exactly the length I need it. I guess I could pull it out a little bit. There, now I got my strain leaf so it doesn't rip my battery pads off. Yeah, there's my box. So I got, and then inside there's, so when you drop this dude down in there, these little pedestals rest on the motor screws. And then the tray just has a little, I mean, it's just a tiny little bit of space that I put in under the battery tray so that when the foam pushes down on it, it trues that frame up. So every time you pull it out, it's straight as an arrow. but it's made only, you can only do the Mobula 7 V4, 7, Mobula 7 V4 frame. That's the only one that'll fit in that. So get these LEDs put back together. I don't know. I should probably put them in a different spot. I like them there because it looks cool while it's flying through the air, but it's not really a practical spot to put them because that's usually the impact spot, like when you crash. So I should have probably put them maybe more on the inside, or maybe over here. One of the guys that we race with has them on the outside edge. And I thought that was kind of cool when it was going through the air. You just see these four little lines going through the air. It's kind of fun looking. Yeah, Northeast champs. You got your IO tickets? Yeah, IO. What's that? June 13th? When is IO this year? I haven't even looked. You like the meta frame? Oh yeah, Lambo. How you doing, man? Yep, I'm live. I'm a random liver. I finally made it down here to work on this because I need this dude for tomorrow's race. And I thought I better get down there and work on that. And then I thought, man, it's been a minute since I've been on a live stream, so I better chime in, say hi to everybody. Figured if anybody's got any questions, I could answer a question or two as well. I don't know if I want a hot glue or E6000 that. I swear, every time I use this stuff, I get it on the back of my neck. I'll have it in bed. It'll be in my house shoes. I don't know why. It's like one of my kids with peanut butter. You know, it's everywhere. Definitely got to get some new props. Think that one there will fly again. I think that one's done. I need to get some more of these green and purple props. Man, I don't know about y'all, but I've looked around and I've been kind of looking at parts and stuff, and everything's out of stock. Everything. This is all the props I have left. Yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna use the purple ones or not. May just use the. I guess if I have the right hand or left hand. Nope. I guess I will use purple. Ooh, I'm gonna have to get me some of these props, huh? I got 4 of them and 3 of them. I guess I'll do. I don't know. I don't have any green ones left. Anybody gonna fly tomorrow? I know. I'm kind of tired of the cold air. I'm not tired of the cold air as I am of the wind. Because I tell you what, it has absolutely been just as windy as can be every day. I guess I might have to try to put these on here. I'll do gray on the back and purple on the front. that's it for that, dude. We'll get the LEDs and stuff on there. MFR, you're flying tomorrow outside. You sure I can't talk you into coming to the whoop race? More the merrier. Come get your whoop on. Let me clean up this mess real quick. I think I might just hot glue them back on. I've already got a bunch of hot glue on them now, so all I got to do is heat them up a little bit. Put them on, and then what I was doing, and obviously the frame snapped, and it, that's what tore the LED out in the first place. But I'll take and hot glue them on there, and then on each end I'll just put a real thin strap of it's just medical tape. It's clear and it's really strong and it's sticky. So if I just put a little tab of tape on each end of it, then it doesn't get torn out. Well, unless the frame snaps in the middle. So I think that's what I'll just do that. So Hypnosis will be doing the champs. When is the eSport champs? When's the eSport? When is the finals? Yeah, that frame was done. It was broken here. Standoff was snapped off. It was broken here. I cut it there though. And then the battery tray. That's the only bad part about this. These little straps right here. The battery goes between there. And then they snap off. And then your battery can kind of flop around. Other than that, I like the frame quite well. Starts at 7 p.m. tomorrow. I might jump on there after I get done racing. I hate to spend all day racing and then be sitting online, kind of ignoring the family. Well, I got this dude all together. Just gotta glue down everything. Probably fly it around just a little bit tonight, later on. I really like that Whoop Light bundle. I've spectated several different other, like the Eco and then the Deluxe, and I really like the video that comes from this dude. I'm sad that they've discontinued this camera, so you can't get that camera anymore. That's why I fly such a heavy quad. So this quad's 42 grams because this goober canopy is kind of heavy. But I tell you what, that goober canopy's pretty stout. It protects it quite well. Custom says working on a prototype for my capstone project thing. I'm bringing it to the race tomorrow. Oh yeah? Is it going to be like something that whacks your quad out of the air before you can get through the start-finish gate? This series has kept me out of all the recent local races. Yeah, I have to admit, Hypnos, I haven't seen you in any races. You've been so busy. That's quite a commitment. The E series is definitely a commitment. Interested in your opinion. Custom, you asking my opinion on your capstone? I don't think I have seen it. If you want to try it out, I have a HDZ all-in-one 65. You can fly tomorrow. Yeah, the HDZ all-in-one. I think Troy flies that. Does EG1 fly the all-in-one? I think he does. I wanted to get my hands on one and kind of tune it out, you know, just to see if it was, you know, something that I could tune out, because the HD0 bind and fly, can't remember which model it was. Tune that out. It was like, I don't know, minute and 45 seconds, and I got up to 3.5 minutes. And it was still pretty good. Oh yeah, the soldering workstation. You did show me that. You're bringing that tomorrow? Yeah, that should be interesting to check out. It's kind of like an all-in-one workbench thing. That's cool. Yeah, he does fly the. Yeah, I wouldn't mind checking it out. I know that I spectated him, you know, just kind of looking to see what the video looked like, because I was interested in knowing for the museum race, because I was not flying analog at the museum. But then I kind of got to the point where it's like, can't really afford two quads and the museum, you know, like all of it. Not this year, maybe next year. I appreciate it, man. I might try it out. I don't know. I'm in second place right now for the series, so I'm I'm gonna be a little bit serious tomorrow. Maybe just a little bit. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I might check it out. I know Chris had gotten one and he was gonna let me fly it, but he's been so busy, man. Life has just been busy. And I don't know, man. There's like, if you have young kids, then you have the plague every week. You know, like the flu went through so fast, and then strep throat before that, and then I mean it's just been a whirlwind of yuck. And I'm not the type of person that goes and hangs out when I got snot running out of my nose. So yeah, you guys haven't been in that many races. TJ's been going to Circle City. Circle City has their races on Sunday. If anybody here watching, I see there's 14 people in here. If anybody's watching, Circle City's in Indiana, and they have races on Sundays. That's the Indiana. I think their last race was just south of Indianapolis. Yeah, yeah, you got little kids. Yeah, you can't avoid it. It's like a plague that comes through. Some some weird bug you've never had in your whole life. You know, I used to drink out of a cistern well when I was a kid, and I always had tonsillitis and strep throat, and I figured I'd be immune to anything forever. And now these kids are bringing home stuff that I don't know. I don't want to say too much because YouTube starts listening in once you say something too much. I'm gonna suppress my video. I don't think they can suppress it too much. Things have been kind of slow. Uh, yeah, as far as the current events and stuff, that seemed like everybody was having a pretty good time. I was happy this year because my car broke down last year and I couldn't get anybody to give me a ride anywhere. So I was like stuck at the whoop house, and then I was limping my car along because the bearing had broke, but yet it would still drive. Man, that thing squalled all the way home. I was like, I am not paying for a tow truck. I drove that thing home. I got home, jacked it up, and the tire was like gunk, glunk, glunk, glunk. I mean, it was bad. So this year I actually had a car, so I was able to go check out some other whoop houses. So that was cool to get around and check out other guys' whoop houses. Cleveland, and come over to yours, custom. Looked like a lot of fun. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up off camera. But do you guys have any questions or anything that you've seen on the channel, or just something you're struggling with? Turn my camera over here. Yeah, you didn't make Buckeye. You were in Colorado, yeah. Yeah, the Whoop House. That's the thing. Not to discredit the museum at all, but like the museum's just half of the fun. You got the museum race, but then you have all these FPV people that have come into a small location. So like going out and eating, and we got to do a better job about going out and eating. I tried to get some information so that I could find. I wanted to find a whoop house that had or not a whoop house, but I wanted to find a restaurant that would allow us to fly, because that Griffin, they won't let you fly there. So I was like, man, try to find some place that's going to accommodate at least 30 and be able to fly in the restaurant, kind of like we did at the old place, 2018, 19 or whatever. That their food was not good though. So got to find good food, large enough place you can fly in. Yeah, the Whoop Houses is like, so 50% museum, 50% having fun with everybody. Appreciate it, cowboy. I got my fingers crossed that I can pay attention. My my leg is pretty sore. To my hip. So when I fell down the basement steps, I rotated my arm all the way around. So I was kind of laying on my arm, but it was kind of backwards. So my rotator's kind of messed up. And then my hip. And then I kind of put my foot all the way back. And then I twisted my knee out. And then I bent all my fingers back. Nothing broke though. I mean, I just got like a bunch of like bruises and bumps. So I'm happy that I didn't, I don't know, try to. I ain't that young, man. Falling down the steps ain't no fun. So hopefully at the race tomorrow, TJ says he's going to put my quad on the line for me, so I don't have to get up and walk around too much. Yeah, well, you Whooptopia. That's the thing, man. I would really like. I want to make you Whooptopia. I want to make Weebleeds race. Maybe I want to do Ken Huron's freestyle. I think all that stuff would be fun. Looks like the video froze up. I think internet might have started to spool on me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it looks like we're way behind. I'm on like a 30 to 40-second lag. Wow. Our internet is not doing that good. I normally don't stream on Saturday evenings. Yeah, you wanted to try this year, but too late for tickets. Chewy FPV, how you doing? Yeah. Kestriel, how you doing? Yeah, I don't know. My internet just seems to be running really slow. Trying to looking at my analytics to see what is going on. Seems to be running pretty good over here. Stream health, excellent. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put it on. Low latency. That's why. So I'm almost 30 to 40, 30 or 40 seconds of latency. Huh. The old Proximo got the big win. See if I can pull chat up in here. See if I can pull chat up in here. There. I think I got it fixed. Hopefully everything's still running good. Kestriel. Love your work, man. I appreciate it. Oh, you're talking to me? Yeah, I got my picture squished down in the corner so much so I could at least have chat popped up. Yeah, I don't I've got this one dude left. That's my last of my analog quads. Yeah, the motors on it are kind of old. Still flies good. I don't know. Might sell him. I got a little pile of stuff I might do something with. Yeah, you know what? FPV Gaps just got two 10,000 mAh Z packs. So he's got two 10,000s for his Whoopsters. The it does a pretty good job. I like this one better than I did the was it like Bat something? I don't know, Amazon. I got it off Amazon. It was like something Bat, and they would puff up. I don't know. I wouldn't even get through summer racing before they'd puff up. I just use them for my radio and my goggles. One, two, three, four. Yeah, we're on quite a bit of delay. I forgot to smush the fast button. Yeah, I would say we're probably, this live stream is on almost a 1 minute delay. It might be more than a minute. Oh yeah, definitely a minute. You guys have any questions? It's almost 8 o'clock, and I'm gonna get some stuff done before the next live stream. I'll be watching live streams tonight because I'm gonna be sitting in my chair with my leg up. I'm just gonna get this dude glued up. I'll be ready to race tomorrow. Since we're on such a delay, I'll kind of hang here just for a second. If nobody's got any questions, I'm gonna take off here. All right, MFR, swing by tomorrow if you get a chance. If you're out and about, man, swing by or grab something to eat. Paddock's food's good, dude. It's reasonable price and it's pretty tasty stuff. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it. All right, Custom. See you tomorrow. I look forward to a challenging track with my 42-gram school bus. Can plugs make your motor sputter? Yeah. Yeah, motor plugs are they can be a plague. They if they're weak, then the motor's weak. You know, if they're causing any resistance. And then if they don't have a good solid connection because they use cheap pins, so that oxidation can make the motors sputter. Now keep in mind, how does your flight controller, your ESCs work? The voltage that motor creates voltage when it spins, and that voltage goes into your ESC, and that's where your ESC is measuring that for kV. So yeah, if that process isn't working, that three-phase doesn't work well. So a lot of times you'll have a quad that just has, it's like, it seems like the motor's just not very good, but you check the motor and it's fine. That's why we started cutting all the plugs off of them and soldering them direct, because then you don't have that issue. Just found your channel looking for ways to add LEDs to my whoops. Mr. Easy E, good to see you. Thanks for your direct and informative videos. My pleasure, man. Thanks for checking it out. Was that the 1206 LED video I did? I really like the 1206 LEDs. I like how it illuminates the frame because I put them right here on the let me see if I can, I gotta more zoom in here. Yeah, the V4 frame has this little standoff right there, and that's where I glue the LED if you take and you just get rid of the thin plastic in there and you make a hole, the hot glue sticks on that LED a lot better. And you just put that 1206 right there and it just illuminates the whole frame. So I like it quite well. I mean, these are really neat because they're so bright. I mean, that's the thing. When you're flying in the house with these LEDs, they're so bright that you could fly around the whole house with no lights on. I mean, it'll light up the whole place. The 1206s aren't as, they don't have as much lumen strength, but they're so much easier to mess with. Yeah, that one with the resistor wiring, yeah. Oh, I appreciate it, man. Welcome to the PropsOff family. It's good to have you in. Appreciate you subbing to my channel. Let me grab that, dude. We can kind of look at it real quick. For those that haven't been on the live stream very long, I fell down my basement steps, so I ain't walking all that good. So I'm kind of rolling around. So here's the 1206 LEDs. So you could tell it's not as intense, but you could see how it illuminates the frame. You know, I just like it. I'll probably end up putting 1206 on this dude, but since I got a race tomorrow, I need to get this one up and running. But I do like the 1206s, and that they fit so good in there. They don't get hit. You know, you can crash the heck out of it, and it doesn't hurt your LEDs. But they're not as bright. These dudes here, man, they are bright. You almost can't look at them. But obviously I have to still glue them. And then with these being out here on the end of my ducts, I have to paint the inside of the duct with some flat black paint or Sharpie marker to keep it from blasting out my camera. Custom doesn't have that problem because his camera angle's like straight out, right? Yeah, that's the way I like them under the frame. I was putting them on I was putting them right here on the motor. I got one of them. Or no, that's on the 65. I'm sorry. On the 65 millimeter frame, I was putting them right here on the motor mount plate. But with this frame, I can put them right in the inside there. Just a little bit of hot glue. The camera want to focus for me. So, yeah, you can see that little thin plastic inside there. You just take an X-Acto knife and cut that out, and it makes a good place for that hot glue to hold on to. This is my backup quad. This one here has a little bit of RX problem. If I crash or throttle up during a crash, or I get stuck or whatever, it'll say RX lost, and then it comes back. It's just it's been beat up. So he's my backup. I want to get this one up and running. Yeah. Well, hey, I tell you what, I just wanted to come on, say hi to everybody, and so check out my museum video if you haven't already. Kind of see what I've been up to last weekend, and I'll see y'all later. Thanks for stopping by and saying hi. Enjoy the breeze.